Is it? No, it can't be. The Stool with Matt Nic.
Like, I almost called it fucking Game of Thrones, House of Cards. There's a lot of shit in there, especially because it was like right, the most recent thing he had done. Like, oh, and that was such a good show. I mean, it still is a good show. You can't say it isn't, but like,
I'm almost glad I never got into it because of what happened to Kevin Spacey. Well, I shouldn't say what happened to him.
What happened to you, victim blaming?
About him, I should put it that way. But yeah, like I'm glad I never got into the show, even though so many people told me I should watch it only because of that.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, no, I actually envy that a little bit. But when it was, when the first couple seasons, when it was like the big hot, show everybody was watching, and before that was all known, it was worth it because it was, it really was a good show. I guess there's the British. It's based on a British show, though, I believe. So there's always that to watch.
Sure. Yeah, that happens a lot. In fact, like a lot of times the American version is way worse than the British version. Not always, but
in this case, I might not be just because we understand our politics more than we understand their politics. You know what I mean? So it might be hard to follow because you'd have to learn about like probably the way the government is set up a little bit more, but I'm sure it's not like maybe not. It's all about the drama. It's not like they're actually teaching you about like how they,
Yeah, it's not British politics 101.
Yeah, so who knows? But I'm just saying maybe that would be a case where actually not having the idea of how power is succeeded and how people can take over and stuff like that might like having that background might be worthwhile. I don't know.
Sure. Well, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Loose Stool, everybody. I'm Matt, sitting here talking to Nick, and I see a little bit of a disgruntled look on your face, but I see you sipping on something over there, buddy. What you got?
Well, I am sipping on something that I got last night, and I was completely fooled by the packaging. And I don't even say I was fooled by the pricing of it. I thought because it was a little more, spendy, that it would mean that it was going to be good. And so what I'm having today. I'm having it just so I can take this opportunity to fucking complain about it and tell everybody never to buy it and never to be fooled by it. So what it's called is Rekorderlig Premium Swedish Hard Cider. Rekorderlig. Rekorderlig. That's what it's called. And it's wild berries hard cider. And I'm like, oh man, that sounds interesting. And what I'm thinking is, like Lambic, like the like fruity kind of beer, like New Glarus makes one. It's usually like $10 for and it's kind of like cherry flavored. Yeah.
And stuff like that.
So that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to get like something like that. And it was $13 for a 4-pack of cans, right? And I'm like, okay, it's gonna have to be
can. I just saw it. It's a small can.
Yeah, it's a small can. Oh wait, and there's even more on that.
All right.
So I buy it and I get into my car and I look at the packaging again and I notice naturally and artificially flavored. And right there, I'm like, that's a little fishy that it would be that expensive and that there'd be artificial fucking flavors in it. And then I get home and I try it and I take the first sip and it's like worse than like the cheap hard seltzers and shit. Like it's a little bit sweet, but it's not really a cider. It's like a fizzy berry drink. It tastes like a shitty berry soda. Like it's just the most artificial, gross tasting fucking shit ass drink. It's just awful. It's like I say, it's like I don't even know. I'm so fucking disappointed. It's the fakest shit ever. So I'm mad about that, just that it tastes like shit. Then I look and I'm like, 4.5% alcohol, $13 for a 4-pack, and it's got 4.5% alcohol in it.
It does speak to me speak of me a little bit, that I was like, oh well, that sucks that the flavor is like not that good, but then we're like 4.5% alcohol. I'm like, oh bullshit.
yeah, that's really what put me over the edge last night when I saw that. And then this morning, what do I notice? 11.2 fluid ounces.
Oh, so it's even smaller.
It's even smaller than a 12-ounce fucking can.
Fuck,
This shit is the biggest, and I don't splurge on like alcohol that much, and it looked so refreshing and good. And I'm like, berry cider, that is interesting. Like I said, I'm thinking lambic, and I'm thinking $13 for a 4. This is going to be some high quality shit. And no, it's just they're like, oh, imported from Sweden, give us way too much money. It's going to be like the cheapest shit you ever fucking drank in your life. And never buy it. Save your fucking money. It's awful. Fuck Rekorderlig, or however the hell you say it. This shit sucks. But what are you having?
Sounds like you mostly paid for the shipping.
But we get we pay for shipping for everything in Alaska. Like, it's not something I'm not used to, you know. I got some shit from Belgium, this stuff I really liked, Belgium, that I'm going to be drinking. That's $10 for a 6-pack, and it's really premium beer. So these guys can get fucked.
Well, me personally, I'm just I'm sipping on a bottle of Early Times, aka I always call it Danger Juice, because it goes down way too easy. But I recently, recently by I mean yesterday, I bought this Fizz & Co. seltzers. It's a Kroger brand, but it says on the can with a hint of the Doctor flavor, and it's really good. It tastes like Dr. Pepper, but just not as like thick. You know, it's just
Wait,
like.
Let me see that. Let me see the can.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, that stuff's good. I've gotten the root beer kind before. Yeah. And the root beer is meh, but yeah. I'm with. All of a sudden I saw the Fizz & Company. I'm like, I've had that. Hell yes. Yeah.
It's good shit. I mean, I
forgot, because I don't like the root beer that much. I still have some left over.
Oh, that's exactly the stuff. Yeah. So, you know, Kroger, I've noticed that Kroger has a tendency to usually knock it out of the park. As far as like generic brands go, like Kroger's usually got your back.
I agree. The one thing I will say that I'm a little disappointed, what they got rid of to make these seltzers was a really good natural sugar soda. So they had like a root beer with real sugar. They had a like Dr. Pepper with real sugar, and they were just in 8-packs, but it was only like $2.50. And it was really, really good soda, like really good root beer. So I do miss that, but I like the soda flavored seltzer idea. Like, that's new. Nobody else is doing that. And for, like, to your point, a generic brand to kind of come out with something different and new, that's pretty good. Yeah. So what else is going on?
Well, there's this thing that I noticed before we hit record today. I had to reset up my Wi-Fi a little bit, and there's this Wi-Fi signal coming from the gas station next to my house, and I want to preface this by saying I really love just passive aggressive guerrilla warfare against your employer. And I don't know what happened, like some disgruntled employee over there who probably quit by now, but their Wi-Fi signal that they clearly have not noticed is labeled as Beck's vaginal discharge. And you know, it's the Beck's Mobile is what it's called. So yeah, Beck's vaginal discharge. And I just love really small petty things you can do to a company like that, because like they definitely don't know that it says that.
It'd be really funny if they do know, and somehow the person like obviously didn't change like the password to the Wi-Fi, but the password to get in and adjust the Wi-Fi settings. So like if they can't change the name of it now, or they just don't know how, you know, that'd be pretty fucking
great.
great.
He probably doesn't know. At least if he does know of it, he doesn't know how to change it, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I just prefer the like thinking that they know that it's been changed and can't do anything about it, because that's even better, you know. So.
That's really getting to him. But other than that, man, yeah, just I've been chilling. Today, a buddy came and I tried to show him my piece of shit truck that we talked about in way past episodes. Has still been sitting in the lot, and tried to show it to him because he might want it. I'm just gonna give it to him if he wants it. But opened up the door and there was a gigantic wasp nest in it. So that was a problem. So I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't really do a whole lot about that. I'm gonna have to get some Raid, and he's gonna come back another day. But I opened up the door, and it's like in the crevice of like where the door joints are on the driveway.
Yeah.
And I open the door, and all of a sudden, like 50 wasps just start rising out of it. Like, oh, we should go. And I guess, you know, it's nature. That's what happens when you park a vehicle in a tree for 3 months.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Let's say you either get Raid or you just wait till winter, you know, and then go check it out again.
Before then, if he wants it.
Oh, that's fucking bad, dude. So I gotta say, you know, this kind of just changes the point, but you know, going back to our Olympics of rewatchable TV shows, I really did do a disservice to Seinfeld. Obviously, I made my point of just saying it's made too many lists, you know, but ever since we did that, I downloaded season 8 like probably a little over a month ago, and I think I've watched that season in its entirety like 6 times over, just because like I've been annoyed with like trying to stream videos online and stuff, and it's just been nice to have something downloaded and just easy to put on, you know. So like I'll just keep putting it on, and it's not getting old. It's still funny, and I keep noticing like more and more like little subtle things like that I didn't notice. There are so many in season 8 specifically. They must have gotten somebody who like wanted to actually be like a serious writer, and then they just started working in these like really poetic lines. There's one where George's dad is serving like food at this like this function that Kramer put together, and he's all like happy about like because he's serving food again. There's this whole backstory, and he goes, "I am reborn. I'm like a phoenix rising from Arizona."
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's like that double entendre of like you know, the phoenix, and like because so many retirees are in Arizona, so that is perfect.
Yeah. And like there's all these imagery. Oh god, I just was watching an episode before we start. There was actually a line that I had tried to remember too. That was another. There's just like all these really good like imagery, you know, things that I'm just, after I keep watching back to the point of the rewatchability, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like these little tiny things. There's another line, and this actually gets into like an idea of just like personality. There's the English Patient episode where everybody loves the movie The English Patient, and Elaine just fucking hates it, you know, and she's seeing this dude, and they're going to the movie, and she wants to go see this movie called Sack Lunch, and it's just like a family got shrunk and they're in like a paper bag or something, you know, and the guy she's with is like kind of being, he's like, have fun at Sack Lunch, because he wants to go see The English Patient, and he thinks she's like stupid for it, you know, and she's just like, I will. And there's something I love about that line so much, is she's like, doesn't give a shit that everybody else is, you know, talking about how great this, like, she knows she wants to go see that movie, and she is going to enjoy it. Like, I don't care what you think of me. I'll go watch my stupid movie, and I will enjoy it. I will. I just find that, like, I'm like, that's actually a good way to live, like, summed up in one little line there.
It's an inspiring attitude. Yeah, fuck you. I'm going to do what I like.
Yeah, and I will enjoy it no matter what you think.
Stool with Matt Nic.
Did you even see that Jeopardy had picked a new host?
Yeah, that all happened I think I found out they picked a new host the